Do you have one in mind since you've had time to think about it?
My best drunk story. I was trying to think of one, and I want to say.
I'll tell you your best drunk story.
Yeah, why don't you tell me my best drunk story? Because I don't remember it. You probably do.
All right, welcome everybody back to the podcast. We are at episode 8, I believe, back here on the North to North podcast. So sad day. News came up today that we lost Aaron Carter, 34 years old. So we're going to spend the next half hour talking about what he meant to us and some of our favorite memories. Nino, you want to kick it off? Well, first of all, for those that don't know, Aaron Carter is the younger brother of Nick Carter, who was obviously one of the boys from the back street. So sorry, Nino, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, it's all right.
That's where you knew him from, right?
Yeah, I'm in total disbelief shock that this has happened, and so
another one dies in the bathroom.
Yeah, so I just remember him as the tattooed one, and that's about it, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I wish I could extrapolate on that.
Honestly, I hadn't seen him since he was first came out or whatever, so I didn't see all the tattoos and the drug use and everything. Yeah. So, but God, another one dying in the bathrooms are scary these days, guys. You gotta watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
Showers only, bro. Showers only. No bathtubs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He drowned in it or something, right? Or that's what they're saying.
Quote unquote.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
All right.
So we knows about that on a dire topic.
Yeah. So I guess we're not going to fill. We filled a minute 30 with that, not a half hour. So, anyways,
rest in peace, Aaron. Rest in peace, buddy.
Hey, did you guys check your mail? Did you get a check in the mail from B of A?
I sure did.
What?
Did you?
I usually get bills in mine, so I just don't even look.
But we got to check, dude. What was it? What was this one? Vasquez versus Bank of America?
I think it was or Gonzalez or something. It was somebody from my community. We got to get paid, man.
Yeah. Nino, you got to check it.
I'm gonna check it ASAP.
We get those emails. Crystal saw it, and she showed me the thing, and I thought it was just something that you had to sign up for. And then later she's like, you got to check for $430 or something. I was like, damn. Yeah. But yeah, we get those things all the time. It's usually an email or something. I'll put in your personal information. You just put it in. You just never know what you're going to get paid out. But this was a good one. So I'll give him that. Thank you, Vasquez.
Thank you, Vasquez.
Whoever you are.
You know what?
Vasquez.
Now that I don't work there anymore, I'm definitely going to cash this. But there was one time where we received one when we were working there, and it was for $1,400. And this is circa I don't know. It was probably 2010 or 11.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
And I was so hesitant to cash it because I was still working there, and I was like, oh, if they find out I cash it, I could, for some reason in my mind, I thought that would be a no, right? And so
a lot of people thought that.
Yeah. And so when I think about it now, I'm like, man, that $1,400, that's a decent chunk of change. I could have done so much with that.
Wait a minute, you never cashed it?
And I never cashed it.
What?
And then I think I eventually lost it, and so I don't even know. It could be in my house somewhere. But at this point, it's a moot point because I think they're only good for 180 days.
You might
after 6 months. That check is.
Do you ever check the state treasury website to see if there's any money waiting for you out there?
Once again, there's nothing but bills for me, so I'm not certain. It's like a Pandora's box.
Look up your name.
Here's your $1,400 check, but guess what, asshole? You owe $24,000 somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not falling into this white man game, okay? No.
Just go look up Alejandro Nino and try to figure out which one's you.
It's a good thing that's not my name.
Right. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
I have an old white lady to thank for the fact that my name's not Alejandro anyway. So
yeah, there you go. Yeah, the other thing I saw was the Twitter layoffs. You guys?
Oh yeah.
See that?
That was one of the things I think everybody knew once Elon took over. It was a wrap for 50% of the employees there, because they've been saying flat out, I'm firing you guys. Bye.
And they're all sad they lost their jobs, but us as B of A employees were like, rookies. That's something that happened.
Your first time, huh?
Yeah, first time here.
How many times have you been let go, Jose?
I got 2 under my belt now, bro, and they still can't get rid of me.
And the best part is you still work there. That's the best part.
Yeah, and
you're trying to fire you twice.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get number 3, but I don't know. There's still time.
I missed my one chance by 3 months, I think, 2 months.
That was bad timing, but I mean, you couldn't do anything about that one.
No, but that would have been, what was it, 2 weeks for every year? So that would have been 38 weeks of paid severance.
That would have been nice. Yeah.
Jeez, man, missed out. Yeah, because I had, I don't even remember how many weeks, but it was basically 7 months of severance, and I was not even there nearly as long as you were. So I can imagine for you, you would have probably at least cleared a year. I bet you would have been there for like a good 12 months.
Close to it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely insane. But cheers to that. I mean, they didn't have to do it, so I appreciate that. Thank you, BV.
Yeah. The writing was on the wall for a month, so you could tell.
Oh yeah, of course. But I mean, not for Jose. Jose seems to escape.
How do you do it?
I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, the first time around, I'm not going to lie, I was a little nervous, you know what I mean? It was like the unknown, but then it kind of works out in your favor, you know what I mean? You get that severance pay. If you're taking the time off, you get unemployment on top of that. So it's almost like you're getting a raise. And then I got hired on for more money. So it was just like, all right, like it just kept getting better. And then the second time around, it was like the same thing. I was off for a month and then came back, got a raise. So yeah, it works out. It's a blessing in disguise.
The only downside was that your lips are super chapped after that, right?
What I do behind closed doors, my friend, is my business.
You had to keep your job. I get it, man. You had to keep your job some way or another. There's no such thing as a free lunch.
But yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I've been definitely more active on Twitter since he's taken over. So I like it. It's not bad.
I used Twitter for like 2 weeks, probably 10 years ago, and then never again.
Just once you went on to Grindr, you never came back, huh?
There's no point.
When you have a direct connection to all your fans there.
Quickest source.
All my local fans. Yeah.
And as you know, for me, I'm just dipping my big toe into social media right now. So, Twitter, maybe in another like 10 years, I'll try Twitter.
Right. You got to pump your brakes, man. And all of a sudden, I thought you were spamming. You were a spam account there for a second.
Right. Yeah. So you're just on Instagram right now, right?
Yeah, just Instagram. And let me just say, once I put my mind to something, I'm in. I'm fully in. And
all in.
All gas, no brakes, baby. That's how I do it.
I think a lot of people that get on social media and they're a little hesitant to put any other talents out there. But I think Nino was on for 2 days and he's like, boom, let me grab my guitar, guys.
And you know what the worst part is? That's
welcome to my world.
That's the pinky tip of talent right there, too. I got so much more that I'm just holding back. And all you got to say is the word, Matt, and I'll unleash it. I will.
We're going to start getting the hula hoop videos and the figurative dancing.
You couldn't contain yourself, all right, if I even started putting that stuff up. Don't act like all of a sudden you're going to suggest that I start doing that.
Hey, I know your talents, buddy. I've known you long enough.
He's been your number one fan on OnlyFans for months now, dude. He's been your number one tipper, bro.
Yeah, that $5 you get a month, you know where it comes from.
I love it.
You get it from Daddy Matt over there.
Matt Daddy. What are you guys watching right now?
Let's see. I just got done with I'm almost done with The Sinner, and then I watched wrapped up what's the other one? The
Patient?
The Patient. Yeah, you knew exactly which one I was talking about.
Nuts.
Yep.
We can't even talk about it.
You need to get up on this, man. It's a really good show.
I don't know where you gentlemen find the time to watch all these shows, because
we're not out.
It was a struggle. for me to get through even like Dahmer, and that was the last thing I think I'd watched. Besides my usual, if I have to, I don't know, have I said this already before? I don't think so, but my biggest guilty pleasure when it comes to TV is 90 Day Fiance. And
oh boy,
it's pretty bad. I mean, like I know it's bad. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure like when they go through the demographics of everything and they're like, oh, it's like 99% female viewer, and then there's like
you check none of the boxes.
And exactly. And so like, this cisgendered male, like 0.0000001%, and they're like, oh, it's statistical error, but really I'm actually the only one watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You were always the guy reading the Cosmos and stuff like that.
Dude, God bless Cosmo, by the way. I mean, some of the best quizzes at the very end of them. Oh man.
Yeah. I thought you were joking at first, but after so many weeks of you talking about it, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Good joke for the 20th time, Nino. No, what are you talking about, man?
He's a subscriber.
Yeah, not anymore, but yeah, I was at one point. I said to say.
Yeah. But I mean, you got to get on The Patient. If anybody listening or watching, whatever, if you haven't watched The Patient, you got to watch it. It's Steve Carell at his best, or close to it, and it's just it's nuts. And at the end, we can't tell you anything about it at this point. So
you can spoil it for me.
You're right.
Yeah, but I'm not going to spoil it for everybody else. Yeah, the other 15 viewers. We don't want that many people mad at us.
Have you guys read the comments at all? Lupe said she wants to hear our best drunk story. Is one that she would like to hear. And
best drunk story.
Yeah, we might have to wait on that one, but I mean, I guess we could give it a quick go around if you guys have some short ones.
Neat about it.
My best drunk story. I was trying to think of one, and I want to say...
I'll tell you your best drunk story.
Yeah, why don't you tell me my best drunk story? Because I don't remember it. You probably do.
Yeah, I think we were all out. It was shortly after Olivia was born. Okay. And we were out... I like this already.
We
were out hanging out in the streets of Walnut Creek, and I think... What was that? Was it Krogan's? Krogan's that we were at?
Now you're bringing it back.
Is this Halloween? Is this Halloween?
No,
it was not Halloween.
This is the one, the JT story.
Yeah.
That's the one I thought that was during Halloween.
We were on the back balcony, and you were just louder than normal, and you were definitely drunk, and
dude, that was like
you don't even do anything crazy.
The fifth bar we had been to.
Yeah. No, we had been to a few bars that night.
Like 5 bars at that point.
And I think we got Jose to this was before Uber and that and Lyft, and we got Jose to act like he was getting in somebody's car thinking it was a cab. Yeah. He opened the door and just scared the shit out of the lady. Like she was like scared to death. Like, what are you doing? Who's this brown man trying to get into my minivan? And then
in Walnut Creek of all places.
In Walnut Creek, yeah. She's just waiting outside the movie theater for her kids.
I think I just saw the landscaper, guys.
Yeah, and then we were on the back porch of Krogan's, and I think JT had his beer in his hand, and you say something like "fuck you, JT" or something.
JT's talking a big old mess. He's just JT was always a shit starter, and he was always just talking mess, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's JT with his little Corona. And at this point, I was so enlightened, we were like onto IPAs at this point. So I'm like, JT, you over here talking hella shit with this pussy ass Corona. And all I did, he's got the Corona in hand, and I just barely tapped the bottom of the bottle. And
yeah, your hand didn't. I think it was a downward motion, this pussy ass Corona, and you barely tapped it.
No. I popped it up because what I was hoping to do is I was hoping to foam it and get it foamy. And when I hit it from the bottom, he had the worst grip. Like, honestly, he's got no man grip because it literally, I barely tapped it.
If we're not talking Corona here, he's got the worst grip,
Right. Dio didn't like his grip. He didn't like his grip. He didn't like how he was holding it.
Yeah. I'm sure there was a Cosmo quiz with that answer somewhere too.
Yeah.
But so anyways, I barely hit the Corona. It comes flying out of his hand, and I swear it goes in slow motion. Like, of course, when you're drunk, things already go in slow motion and are hazy. But I swear this thing took the most perfect arc I think I've ever seen anything take. Like just this perfect arc, and then just finally shatters on the ground out on the patio of Krogan's. And of course, that. I just remember everybody. And at this point, it's packed at Krogan's. I mean, like, there's everybody on that patio. Beautiful night. And they all just turn and look straight at what I felt like me. I don't know. They're just looking over in our direction. And I swear.
Because you were the loud one, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm just obnoxiously loud drunk. Okay, you got me. And everyone's just looking at us. And then I swear, like, a good 10 minutes go by. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, Corona on the ground. I'll buy you a new one, JT, yada, yada, yada. But, like, I swear 10 minutes later, I see the fucking bouncer start walking my way. And I'm like, no way. They're really going to. Sure enough, he's like, excuse me, sir. We're going to have to ask you to leave these.
He doesn't even say anything. No. He comes walking up. And
really?
it was like a minute or two, and we're just standing there, talking. The bouncer comes walking up, and he's like, excuse me, sir. And Nino's like, yep, and then just follows right behind him. Just marches out of there. He knew what was happening.
He said he told him that he had to talk to him for a bit, and then we knew what was happening, and we were like,
yeah, he knew it. Everybody knew it.
Telepathically, he had that conversation with me. Okay, as soon as I saw where he was coming from, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I remember they took me outside and they're like, we're just gonna have to ask you to leave, yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. I think I ended up calling like who did I call? I think I called Jade. I called Jade and I was like, because Jade was with us that night. And I was like, hey, they kicked me out. Do you guys want to go somewhere else? And you're all, yeah, we'll be out there in like 5 minutes. And then we all ended up going to like our 6th bar after that, which was
probably Tiki Tom's or something.
Tom's. I think it was because that's where we started from, Tiki Tom's, and I think that was like the plan was to end with Tiki Tom's.
Yeah.
And by that point, it was already getting close to 2:00 anyway. So.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me of my best story.
I remember that story all the time because just that look on your face when he said, "Excuse me, sir," and you're like, "Yep," you knew what was going down, and you just followed right behind him.
That was a weird old night, anyways, man. It'll be like we need.
Oh yeah, it ended weirder. Like
it was all over the place. All right.
Yeah.
So then Matt or Jose? Then what's your best drunk story then?
Man, there's so many, dude. There's so many that I can't even think of them. But yeah, let's see if Matt can come up with one, because at this point I think everybody else remembers my stories better than I do. Funny how it turns out that way, but anything that you got there, Matt?
I just get drunk and bold. So like I just remember there was a couple of times where I've just gone like chasing after a bear while camping or something, like not necessarily chasing it, but like creeping up on it, trying to get closer and closer, like thinking I'm one with nature and shit.
This isn't the castle, right?
Yeah, not that kind of bear. An actual like Tahoe bear. I'm sure I've done that. Like I usually get hurt like if I'm out camping and drinking. Like I, got on the back of it or got on this tree thinking it was a cool picture that was like halfway broken, and then it snapped and I slid down a hill. Yeah.
My favorite memory of you drinking was tweaking Puerto Ricans.
The tweaking Puerto Ricans out on the beach, Ocean Beach,
San Francisco,
all night long. Yeah.
We drank those, and not only that, but once again, JT, man.
JT at it again. For those that don't know, a tweaking Puerto Rican is Bacardi 151, Limon, and Silver mixed in with the Red Bull.
Yeah, with the Red Bull. And he was heavy-handing those things. Like, it was a lot of Bacardi.
I've never... Yeah.
And you guys kept drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking them, and then finally, it was time to finally leave, and you guys were just puking your guts out in the car back to your place. Absolutely just... Every stoplight I stopped at, you and every corner, every.
I remember that ride home, just everything being a blur, like all of the San Francisco streets and the houses just blurry.
Yeah, thank God I did not drink those tweaking. I think I had like one. And then I was like, all right, I'm done. And then drinking.
Well, we got back to the apartment, right?
Yeah, and it was, and you guys. Oh, but then that was the best part. So we not only is Matt puking up the entire way back from Ocean Beach to his place you were out in South Park, and by the time we get there, they're still puking their guts out. So we end up getting to the back to the apartment, and he goes running into the kitchen and literally has got his like head in the sink going.
Because Sarah took the toilet.
She ran to the bathroom and locked it, and then you will have like nowhere to go. So yeah, this man's over there puking in his sink, looking like a damn ostrich. Like somehow I don't know how he's like standing straight up, but then his head's like
that's a good
I don't know how
visualization of that one right there. That's a good.
And
one.
all I'm doing is I'm like tears are just running down my eyes because just the sight of them just puking their guts out of Puerto Ricans.
And then in the morning, you walked in with like some leftover pizza, and we just yelled at you, "Get it out of here!"
it was like an extreme.
It smelled pizza, so bad,
and it was it was like a combination or whatever you guys.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad night. I remember it, and yeah, it was fun. Hanging out on the beach all night and
drinking on fire, drinking until like basically the sun came up.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah, good times.
Weekend Puerto Ricans will always get you in the end, man.
Yeah.
That is all bad.
We'll have to come back for another drunk story from you, but Jose.
Yeah. All good.
What else we got?
I'm trying to think.
Cut that.
Yeah.
We'll cut this in.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of vomit stories, so Jose, you didn't get to watch our last episode, so it was all about our kids vomiting. And what's one time you remember your kid or one of your kids just destroying everything?
That was Dre just this past summer, dude. He was saying that his stomach was hurting, and he didn't look very good, and. I was like, just go to the bathroom just in case you are going to throw up or whatever. And he was like, no, I think I'm okay. And I don't remember what he ate. It might have been hot Cheetos mixed with something, but all I remember is him getting up and then instead of going towards the bathroom, he goes towards the kitchen and just creates this path of just throw up all like, it's splattered everywhere, but the worst thing is because of the hot Cheetos, the consistency of the throw up was like thick. It was thick, so
that's what we talked about them last week.
Everywhere. It was it was the worst, dude. It got in everywhere. He didn't get a chance to open up the actual garbage. I don't know why he didn't go to the sink, but he went for the garbage. So the side of the garbage underneath, like I had to hose everything down. It was the worst, dude. And it was just like, again, it's that consistency that was just, it was gross, dude. It was gross.
Cheetos already make me want to puke, so I could only imagine what Cheeto puke.
Yeah, I can only handle so many Cheetos before I'm like, the headache starts to set in and I'm ready to go.
Now the question is did you make him clean up his own mess?
No, dude, I couldn't. He was out, dude. He was out of it, man. So I had to do my best. Like
poor kid,
like and that along with the smell, because there's still that Cheeto smell, but mixed in with whatever God knows what, dude. It was the worst, bro. That's like the most recent one that comes to mind, and it was probably like the worst one. Everything else, like he's thrown up and stuff, but it's been like in a bag or in the sink or in the toilet or something. Like this time it was just everywhere in the kitchen leading up to it. So that was, it was messy. It was messy.
Yeah. There was one story I forgot about when we were talking about it before, Nino. We ran out of time, but I took
our 12-minute time.
Our 12-minute episode. Yeah. Cause that's all we had left. So I took Andrew and Christian to the movies. I think it was Captain America. And so they were excited to see it. I got them their popcorn, their sodas and everything. And then like not too far in, Andrew just starts, I see him like curl himself up into his shirt. And he's, oh man, this is probably 10 years ago. So he's, I don't know, 8 years old, 9 years old, somewhere around there. He curls himself up into his shirt and I'm like, are you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm just cold, whatever. And then at the end, we're waiting for the trailer, for the second trailer or the sneak peek to the next one or whatever. And all of a sudden he's like, Uncle Matt, I don't feel good. And there's a guy sitting in front of us and he just lets it go in the movie theater, like all in front of the seats, and it's like dripping down. The guy in front of us doesn't even move. So I'm like, did he not hear? Did he think we just spilled a soda or something? And so I'm looking at Andrew and like, I don't know how to deal with kids throwing up at that point. So I'm sitting there, Andrew, you okay? He's like, yeah. I was like, are you done? He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, we got to get the hell out of here. Come on. And so we ran out of that movie theater and got to the car. My mom was at the house and I called my mom. I was like, Mom, we're coming in hot. She's like, what does that mean? I was like, don't worry, you'll find out. So, all over the movie theater. I feel bad for the 16-year-old kid that had to clean that up, but that's what they get paid the big bucks for.
Exactly.
So
the guy so he didn't puke on the guy. He just was
he puked on the ground. But the seats are very close. It was at Regal in Antioch, so they're not like spaced out seats or anything. They were like up tight with each other, and it was dripping down. You could hear it, and
that's disgusting.
I'm sure you could smell it after a minute or so. So
what movie was that? You said it was
Captain America. Whenever that came out. When did Captain America come out? So. Yeah.
Early 2010s, maybe?
America movie.
Don't remember.
Captain America, 2011. Yeah, so it was about 10 years ago. 11 years ago. Yeah. So.
I wonder what that guy's up to right now. If he's still recanting that story himself.
Yeah, I doubt it. And I don't even think Andrew remembers that unless he listens to this. I'm going to send him the clip. So.
Yeah.
I've never had anybody. I've never seen anybody puke in a theater before, but I did have a buddy who was so drunk that he tried to pee in one, and we got kicked out though. Like it was.
No.
The movie Silent Hill had come out, and like we'd been so stoked to go watch it or whatever. And that's how long. This is like early 2000s. I don't even remember. But we pre-gamed the movie, and like we are completely thrashed. I mean, this is like our Southern Comfort days. Like for whatever reason, Southern Comfort was like the drink of our choice, and we drank
because it was sweet. That's why.
I don't even know. Like you couldn't even pay me to drink Southern Comfort now.
No, hell no.
Back then, it was like I just remember I was drinking like so much Southern Comfort before going to the movies. We ended up going to the movies, and I think we ended up sneaking like a couple more beers like in our backpack somehow, and they didn't. I mean, I don't even think they checked. And so, anyways, we're drinking and whatever. And then my buddy, by then, he's like, starts nodding off and is like,
"Oh no!"
And I'm like, he's like, "Oh man, I gotta go piss. So finally, we're like, "All right, dude, let's just go." So we get up, and we start walking up, and as you start walking up the stairs to get up to the top level, it's a stadium seating or whatever. So we get up to the top level, and right as we were about to get out the door, he hits a hard left towards the corner. And then so I could see him start unbuckling his belt. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? And all of a sudden, I see this flashlight just right on us. And I'm like, what the hell? And then I get the usher or whoever, the security, I don't know who the hell it was. Like, hey, man, you need to get your friend out of here right now. And so I'm like, dude, come on, let's go. So I grab him. And he's like, oh, okay. So he's like buckling himself back up again. And we leave the theater and we go to the bathroom. And the security guard or whoever is like following us the entire time. We ends up going to the bathroom though, and but as soon as we come out of the bathroom, like the guy's like, "You guys gotta leave," and so he kicked us out. So yeah, never seen anybody puke in the theater, but definitely had a friend who tried pissing in one. So
you're getting kicked out of a lot of places here this episode.
Yeah,
what's going on here, man?
I don't even want to begin to tell you other establishments that I've been kicked out of, okay? Because I don't want you to think less of me. Or actually, you might think more of me if I started telling you the other ones.
We'll get to your Build-A-Bear story, another time.
Yeah. Look, man. I don't even want to tell you. Never mind. I'm not even going to make that joke. The stuffing.
Anyways, the bear stuffing. Yeah, that was the problem. Anyways, so I think we're pretty close on time, but we'll be at it again, I think, next week. And then,
you guys,
Lupe,
real quick, don't forget, vote Tuesday. Tuesday.
I'm not going to vote. I tried to look at the candidates, and I'm just like, I don't know enough about anything. My vote would be wasted. So, Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Don't vote if you're not educated enough. Just kidding. Vote. Vote for whoever.
My bad, bro. What were you saying there about Loop?
Oh yeah, Lupe. Anybody else? Like, if you have anything you guys want us to talk about, that's greatly appreciated. Nino, just give us a heads up next time so we have the stories ready. So
I like this on the fly stuff better, honestly.
Yeah, it does make it kind of fun.
And honestly, you reminded me of a story that I had forgotten, and I've chosen to honestly forget. Mm-hmm. But you reminded me of it, so we went with it. And honestly, I appreciate that. It's probably if I really pushed. If I had told you ahead of time, you probably would have come up with some other whack story, anyways. So,
probably.
I like it.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you guys later.
All right. It's been a pleasure, everyone. Thank you so much. Love you.
Like and subscribe, all 15 of you. See ya.
Yeah.